Hello there, good afternoon. Coming to you live from Gomon Street in Tradefella, Accra. You're watching ABC Midday. I am Peggy NYARKOWAA BANNOR. Coming up in the next hour. The New Patriotic Party launches formal processes to expel former Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, following comments he made describing the party as fake and questioning its internal democratic credentials. The Supreme Court adjourns the hearing of a certiorari seeking to quash the Tamale High Court ruling for a rerun in the Pandai parliamentary election to January 28 for a ruling on the case. Still to come, 2 people have been burnt to death in a road accident at Ofensu Old Town in the Ashanti region, with 2 others currently fighting for their lives as road accidents rise across the country. In business, the People's National Party accuses the governor of the Bank of Ghana and the NDC government of peddling falsehood in the report of losses related to the Gold for Reserve policy, Gold Board related losses. On the international front, US President Donald Trump announced on Monday that his administration had imposed a 25% tariff on goods from countries that maintain commercial relations with Iran. Stay with us, we have details of these and more coming out shortly. Watching ABC Midday News live on ABC News Ghana television. We are streaming live on Facebook at ABC News GH_. Now to our stories. The New Patriotic Party has begun formal processes to expel former Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, following comments he made in a television interview describing the party as fake and questioning its internal democratic credentials. In a statement signed by the party's General Secretary Justin Kodua Frimpong, the NPP said it had taken due notice of remarks made by Professor Frimpong Boateng on Channel 1 TV on Monday, 12 January 2026, during which he openly stated that he no longer considers himself a member of the party. According to the statement, the former minister also made what the party described as disparaging remarks about the NPP and alleged that the 2023 presidential primary was rigged in favor of former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the party's presidential candidate for the 2024 general election. It stressed that the contest was free, fair, transparent, and credible, and had been widely accepted by all aspirants who participated. The NPP further described Professor Frimpong Boateng's conduct as highly reprehensible and inimical to the values, unity, and integrity of the party, adding that his public comment undermined internal cohesion and discipline. Joining us on the line is the Deputy Director of Communications for the NPP, Kokro Esiedu, to have further conversations on this. Good afternoon, and welcome to ABC Midday News.
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers.
Right. Now, tell us, on what specific provisions of your constitution is the party relying in initiating expulsion proceedings against Professor Frimpong Boateng?
Yeah, with the new amended constitution, Article 4.44. Hello?
So, looking...
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm saying that we have actually triggered Article 4.44, and I'll read. The National Executive Committee shall make any recommendation it deems fit to promote discipline within the party. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening, sir.
Yeah, to promote discipline within the party, including suspension and or expulsion of a member. The recommendation automatically comes into full force and effect where no appeal is lodged against it in accordance with the provision of this constitution. So in the coming days, we shall convene a National Executive Committee meeting, and then we'll look at the matter at hand. And then the National Executive Committee will deliberate on it, look at the public commentary of the professor. Notwithstanding the public commentary, if you recall, prior to the festive season, last year, he wrote a love letter to the party, which was also very bad. And then we spoke with him that was not the approach to go. If we have issues, there are grievance procedures within the party that the learned professor should look at it. The former minister will be able to look at. So I think that this is the right way to go. We want to instill discipline in our party, and then we must align, and then we move forward. All
right. So would you say this would also serve as a deterrent to other party members looking at the... Okay.
Yes, my dear sister, the core aim of a good member is to protect, and project the party. So at all material times, you need to be able to protect the integrity of the party, good ambassador of the party. Another professor cannot say that a political party that we campaigned, you threw the party, you became a minister in Ghana, a cabinet minister, and then you say the party is fake. And then you are saying that that party that you believe you belong to is a virtual party. So in normal sense, it tells us that he already is out of the party. Yes, because we don't have a virtual party in existence. We have the new Patriotic Party. So for him to say that the party is fake, I'm very disappointed in the professor. Very, very disappointed. Right. But going forward, we will not actually entertain those comments from senior members of our party. We want to bring discipline to the party, and I want to take this great opportunity that ABC News you have given me this afternoon to applaud the General Secretary for stepping up his feet to be able to take this matter to the National Executive Committee meeting, so that the NEC will take a very decisive decision on this matter. Yeah, because this party, sometimes people speak as if they are not privy to information. We had elections last year, presidential elections, where the former vice president won decisively. One of the aspirants, Kennedy Ohina Japan, at the coronation of the former vice president, he said the election was free and fair. Major stakeholders of the party said it. And then you come sit somewhere and come and say that election was rigged. How can you use words in that manner? Because you are a professor. Yeah. Now, so this party, nobody is above the party. The party interest is supreme. I have said it on many platforms across the country that nobody is above this party. Professor Frimpong Boateng, prior to coming from Germany to Ghana, we know that he's a heart surgeon. How many people knew Professor Frimpong Boateng? He became popular when he stood on our ticket that he wanted to be a presidential candidate of our party. He was not successful. We won elections from government. We gave him a cabinet minister. And then the whole country, everybody became aware of his this thing. So it's about the party. It's not about interest. Yeah, some people, when you look at their public commentaries, like they are too bitter. We don't take bitterness to make a change in a political party organization. Yes.
So this great opportunity you are giving me this afternoon, I want to communicate to our members across the country that we are focused. With the leadership of the party, we are focused. So now, through the Presidential Election Committee, everything is intact. God willing, 31st, we'll go and conduct our election. 1st of February, we have our leader who will lead us.
All right, Mr. Siedu, this is not the first time we've heard a member of your party passing comments or making allegations about it, but we haven't seen an action like this taking place. So why now?
Yeah, why now? Because he wrote a love letter. Some of the council of elders spoke with him. We made a complaint to some of the council of elders of our party. They spoke with him, and then he has come again. That one he wrote a whole lot of peace that was not grounded on facts. And then our national organizer responded to him. So we thought that we have ended that level. We are ending our presidential elections 1st February. We have our, and then he has granted another interview. So it tells you that what we are bringing everybody on board, he is in for discussion, because to him, he belongs to a virtual party, and we don't have a virtual any part of the party. We have a solid party with well structured, more than 80-something members of parliament in Ghana. So it's not a fake party. It is a wide conjecture. Yeah, wide conjecture. Some of the allegations, forgive my word, the learned professor, some of the allegations are bogus. I must be honest. He says he's very bold to speak his mind, and I'm also telling him this afternoon that some of the issues that he talked about are pure conjectures and they are bogus. That election that was run, that the former vice president won decisively, and then he led us to the 2024 presidential elections, and then you, a professor, will come and say that that election was rigged. And now you have come again to make another proposition, which is also a conjecture, that this impending election will also be rigged. How can you say that?
Okay. Now, how do you respond to concerns that disciplinary action such as this against a senior member is perceived as intolerance of dissenting views? That he's just sharing his views, people say.
No, we are talking about certain behavior, anti-party behavior. If you look at the letter that he wrote last year, and then 2 days ago or yesterday, the interview he conducted, it's clear anti-party behavior. You cannot say that a party that will make you popular in Ghana, and through that party, we won election and you're a minister, say that that party is fake. You cannot say that. It's a pure conjecture, and it's anti-party behavior. We cannot entertain that in the party. That's why we are not saying that. We are not referring him to the district committee of the party. No, we will not do that. We are taking him to the National Executive Committee of the party to make a determination on the status of the party. Because per the new amended constitution, the constitution that is in force, he's a former minister, he qualified to vote. We will take a decision on him that he will not get the opportunity to go and vote.
Mr. Siedu, looking at the state of the party, you are now trying to restructure and come back again to win the trust of your people. What steps are you taking to reassure the party's grassroots and the general public that internal democracy and transparency remain your core values?
Yeah, it is clear for our party. We welcome a lot of views, but we are saying that you can speak your mind, but you cannot be rude. You understand? Speak your mind, but do not be rude. Speak your mind, but do not discredit the credibility and integrity of the party. That is a fundamental. So what we are talking about is that you can do a public commentary, notwithstanding your status, but make sure that you protect the integrity of the party. At all material times, you must not bring the integrity of the party into disrepute. And our learned professor, what he has done is to run on the party. We cannot say that to entertain that indiscipline from him. He's not bigger than the MPP. It's the MPP that has made him. There are many learned professors that did not get opportunity to serve in the last government. My dear sister, do you know the number of people who have worked for this party across the world that did not get opportunity, that they have equally competency and qualification like Professor Frimpong Boateng? But he got opportunity on the ticket of the party because we were in government to be a minister. And that person will come out and speak out conjectures. Some of the issues that he speaks to sometimes, I ask myself, does he know even the party structure? When I did auditing of his former letter that he wrote to us last year, even the structures of the party is not even abreast. If you look at the wording of it, Yesterday, how he was talking, how election that was conducted last year, somebody won decisively and say it's rigged. And then now we have another election, a very transparent process is ongoing. And then you will not address yourself with facts and information. And then you come and grant an interview and say that, oh, this is what is also going to be rigged. How can we be saying this? We will not allow people to distract us. We are very focused. We are preparing to form government in 2028. Those who are not ready to join the winning ship, please, they should get out. We will not allow anybody to rob the victory boat in 2028. As I indicated earlier to you, so 1st of February, we have our leader. We have our leader.
All right.
We are very focused. Yeah, we are very focused.
All right. Thank you for your time this afternoon, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
You too. That was the Deputy Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party, Kokro Esiedu. We are still trying to establish contact with a political historian, Professor Samuel Edujemfi, to have further conversations on this, to look at the implications it will have on the party. We know the party is now trying to come back together again, win the trust of its people, the people of Ghana, so that in 2028 they would also contest and be victorious as all other party would want to. And these things are happening within the party. Does it affect the trust that people have in the party, or what does it say about the party politically? So we'll still try and bring you conversations with our political historian. Stay tuned, we'll be bringing you conversations on that. But away from that, 2 people have been burnt to death in a road accident at Offenso Old Town in the Ashanti region, with 2 others currently fighting for their lives. The accident occurred in the early hours of Tuesday, January 12, 2026, and involved a saloon car, a trailer, GR-1357-W, and a mini truck transporting building materials. Eyewitnesses said the victims were traveling from Kumasi to Offenso when the crash occurred. The female victim, a building material trader, and the driver of the mini truck died on the spot after the vehicle burst into flames, leaving their bodies severely burnt. The injured persons, including the trailer driver and his mate, are receiving treatment at the local hospital. Authorities have since launched investigations into the cause of the accident, while the bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the hospital mortuary for further examination. Still on road accident, at least 3 deaths have been recorded with several injuries in road crashes on the Accra-Kumasi highway in a span of 24 hours in 3 separate accidents yesterday. This alarming trend is a continuation of last year's statistics, where 9,626 road traffic crashes were reported between January and August 2025, involving 16,348 vehicles and resulting in 1,937 fatalities and 10,957 injuries. Speaking on ABC in the morning, the Suhum Municipal Public Relations Officer for the Ghana National Fire Service, ADO1 Akono Daniel Ohene Opare, attributes the accidents to the poor state of the roads. He has also urged drivers to exercise patience while on the road.
It needs to be looked up again. Because looking at the road, I think the main road that was constructed from Kumasi to Accra was the first one that was constructed for the public to use, and the other one from Accra to Kumasi. You see, it's a dual road. First it was a single road, and now it's a dual road. Most of them have potholes on it, and it is causing most of the vehicles to have problems or to cause this accident. And also, I would like to advise most of the drivers that use the road, they should take their time. they should take their time. They should relax and take passengers to their various destinations. And if you are tired as a driver, make sure that you talk to the passengers and relax for some time before you continue your journey. If you know you've taken in something or you've taken any drink that you think is going to harm you or is going to worry you in the process of driving, please don't drive. And also my advice to the general public is that we should all be mind conscious and careful, because our vehicle that we use on the road, this accident, the two that happened yesterday, was in the course of a bad time. Actually, this stretch or this main stretch in the eastern region is one of the major roads in eastern region, which needs to be looked up again. Because I was looking at the road, I think the main road that was constructed from Kumasi to Accra was the first one that was constructed for the public to use, and the other one from Accra to Kumasi. You see, it's a dual road. First it was a single road, and now it's a dual road. Most of them have potholes on it, and it is causing most of the vehicles to have problem or to cause this accident. And also, what I would like to advise most of the drivers that use the road, they should take their time. They should take their time. They should relax and take passengers to their various destinations. And if you are tired as a driver, make sure that you talk to the passengers and relax for some time before you continue your journey. If you know you've taken in something or you've taken any drink that you think is going to harm you or is going to worry you in the process of driving, please don't drive. And also my advice to the general public is that we should all be mind conscious and careful, because our vehicle that we use on the road, this accident, the two that happened yesterday, was in the course of a bad time. Taking in some.
In more news, the Tema Regional Police Command has intercepted a total of 1,613 parcels of substances suspected to be narcotic drugs in a well-coordinated operation along the Akosombo-Tema Road. The breakthrough, which occurred in the early hours of 11 January 2026, is part of ongoing efforts by law enforcement to curb drug trafficking in the region. The operation followed intelligence received on January 10, indicating that suspected narcotics were being transported from the Volta region toward Tema. Police quickly mounted surveillance along the Agomeda Junction area, ultimately intercepting two vehicles, a white Toyota Highlander registered GS2013-12 and a black Mitsubishi Pajero registered GC400-22 at around 12:45 a.m. Now, the vehicles were driven by 33-year-old Isaac Odoi and 39-year-old Kwame Mani, who were immediately arrested. Searches of the vehicles revealed 872 parcels in the Mitsubishi Pajero and 741 parcels in the Toyota Highlander, all suspected to contain narcotic substances. The suspects and the exhibits were handed over to the Regional Criminal Investigations Department in Tema on 12 January 2026. Samples of the seized substances are said to be sent to the Forensic Crime Laboratory for analysis, and further searches will be conducted at the suspects' residences. Police also confirmed the court proceedings are being prepared. Away from that, the political future of the Pandai constituency remains in limbo following the Supreme Court's decision to adjourn its ruling on a critical legal challenge to January 28, 2026. A 5-member panel of the Supreme Court, led by Justice Gabriel Pwaman, set the date for the ruling after hearing the argument from both sides. Now, the courtroom was packed with a heavy presence of high-ranking officials from both the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress. Members of Parliament also descended on the apex. As the fate of one of their colleagues, Matthew Nyindam, hangs in the balance. The case centers on a certiorari application filed by Mr. Nyindam, the embattled NPP MP for Pandai. Mr. Nyindam is seeking to quash a Tamale High Court ruling from November 2025, which annulled his 2024 election victory and ordered a fresh poll within 30 days. Mr. Nyindam's legal team, led by Gary Nimako, argued that the original petition filed by the NDC's Daniel Nsalawapao was fatally flawed. They contend that the petition was submitted 32 days after the results were gazetted, well beyond the 21-day statutory limits prescribed by the 1992 Constitution. Consequently, they argued the High Court lacked the jurisdiction to even hear the case, let alone annul the results. Now let's take a listen to the NPP's candidate's legal team after the hearing today.
We've come to court, we argued our application, we made our case to the courts. So we await the judgment on the 20th of January 2028. 2026, that's all.
2026, sorry.
That's all.
Results were re-gazetted.
Determinate. We've come to court, we argued our application, we made our case to the courts. So we await the judgment on the 20th of January 2028. 2026, that's all.
2026, sorry.
That's all.
Results were re-gazetted.
Determinate. We've come to court, we argued our application, we made our case to the courts. So we await the judgment on the 20th of January 2028. 2026, that's all.
2026, sorry.
That's all.
Results were re-gazetted.
Determinate. We've come to court, we argued our application, we made our case to the courts. So we await the judgment on the 20th of January 2028. 2026, that's all.
2026, sorry.
That's all.
Results were re-gazetted.
Determinate. We've come to court, we argued our application, we made our case to the courts. So we await the judgment on the 20th of January 2028. 2026, that's all.
2026, sorry.
That's all.
Results were re-gazetted.
Determinate. We've come to court, we argued our application, we made our case to the courts. So we await the judgment on the 20th of January 2028. 2026, that's all.
2026, sorry.
That's all.
Results were re-gazetted.
Determinate. We've come to court, we argued our application, we made our case to the courts. So we await the judgment on the 20th of January 2028.
Now let's engage the Deputy Director for Elections and IT for the NDC, Rashid Tanko Computer, to have further conversations on this. Good afternoon, and welcome to ABC Midday News.
Good afternoon. How
this bodies, the NPP and the NDC went to court. So we were seeking to get a ruling. You were seeking to get a ruling today, but it has been adjourned to January 28. What are your expectations?
Well, let me say good afternoon to your cherished viewers. We are very sure that we have a very solid case. Our defense was solid. I mean, we forcefully presented our case before the law lords. I mean, and we are very clear in our mind that our victory will be ours come 28th, because you don't go to Sahara Desert with a net to fish. I don't think you get any fish at the Sahara Desert. So that is what our opponents are doing. And then, so therefore, we are very clear in our mind that victory will be ours come 28th.
Were you disappointed that the case has been adjourned?
No, at all. We are not. We are not disappointed. In fact, it has even given us more time
to continue campaigning. Yeah, we are campaigning. We are in the constituency campaigning. And so we are fine. We are very fine with it, and then we only wait on that day and hear from them.
All right. So now you mentioned that you are still campaigning in the constituency. Are you saying that you still have hope and believe that it's going to turn out in your favor?
Of course. We have made our presentation. I wish you were in court to listen to our presentation. Based on our presentation, I believe that we are on course, and that the judgment will be in our favor. We made cogent points based on which we are saying that the court should dismiss them. They cannot benefit from that kind of thing. And they themselves admitted in error some of the things that they brought to the court. And so we are very clear in our mind that, look, this thing going on, the laws would take time and study it and pass judgment in our favor. So we are very clear in our mind that we know that what we have presented is solid, and they will make judgments to bring justice to the good people of Midday.
You are so confident on winning. If you do not come out victorious, are you going to accept the results or contest it, appeal in court again?
Oh, we are not abiding citizens. Why? We are not abiding. We are not like our opponents. When they lose a case, then they will go ranting and attacking judges. We are not like that. We are not abiding. We were confident of winning the Zoom election petition, but we lost. Didn't we accept it? We accepted it in good faith and move on. And so, for us, but we are very much confident in this one too. And so, if it turns out that the law states otherwise, that is the law. That is the law. So we have confidence that we are winning the matter because we have presented very cogent points to the laws, which shows clearly that our opponents have no case.
Now, you mentioned that you are campaigning. A poll was released by Global Info Analytics that Matthew Nyindam was winning. Do you believe that if the poll is conducted now, it will change?
They were also in the latest polls. The latest poll that he brought up just about a month ago indicated the NDC candidate leading by 60.7. Updates on records. The NDC candidate has overtaken Nyindam.
Accounting for this?
Because I told you the other time that we are going to work assiduously and we send crack campaigners into the constituency.
All right.
There are people, and the people have now come to realize that they need to vote for the NDC candidate. So if the tide has changed.
Thank you for your time this afternoon, sir.
I'm grateful.
That was the Deputy Director for Elections and IT for the NDC, Rashid Tanko Computer. Now we have a video of the NDC candidate. Let's take a listen.
Well, if the case hasn't good, but I know I'm positive to move my favor.
What if in case?
I'm saying that I'm not somebody who wants to run away from where I stand. I said it's going to be in my favor because the case that was handled by the High Court judge in Tamale was not a case people think it was not, a genuine case. They have rigged the election. We were in court for 11 good months. It was not just 1 week that went to court and the judgment was, given. It was 11 months. We were all in court with my opponents. All the witnesses were heard. And our case was genuine and the judgment was given. And so if they think we didn't have a case, that's why we are here. After what we're saying here, if the case hasn't good, but I know I'm positive to move my favor.
What if in case?
I'm saying that I'm not somebody who wants to run away from where I stand. I said it's going to be in my favor because the case that was handled by the High Court judge in Tamale was not a case people think it was not, a genuine case. They have rigged the election. We were in court for 11 good months. It was not just 1 week that went to court and the judgment was, given. It was 11 months. We were all in court with my opponents. all the witnesses were heard, and our case was genuine, and the judgment was given. And so, if they think we didn't have a case, and that's why we are here. After what we're saying here, it's just, but we have submitted our response in opposition, and I know that at the end of the day.
You're still watching Midday News here on the ABC News Ghana television. We're going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back with more news. Stay tuned.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, let me see you. Wait, this guy. My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to obtain and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, uno banu mpe baby amubeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
This week's been wild. New releases dropping, artists blowing up, moments going crazy on the timeline. Don't worry, we've got you.
We pull the highlights, the date, the event, everything you need to know, and then the real fun starts.
The official top 10 songs running the streets, the airwaves, and your playlists.
If the culture is talking about it, we are counting it down.
This is the rundown.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching ABC Midday News live on ABC News Ghana television. We're streaming live on Facebook at ABC News GH_. Up next is business news. In the world of business, policy analyst Dr. Peter Tepe has called for a comprehensive restructuring of Ghana's energy sector to support sustained economic development. Speaking on ABC in the morning, Dr. Tepe stressed the need for government to prioritize the energy sector, noting that the growth of the economy is heavily dependent on a stable and efficient power supply. He added that a complete restructuring of the sector would help attract foreign investment and strengthen investor confidence in the economy.
We have to prioritize the aspects that we cannot, ignore, which is very key to economic development. And energy is one key one.
Okay.
For the economy to strive, you need a strong energy sector. For investors to come into your economy, one area they look at is how is the energy need, how is the energy sector striving. country. Because if you come to invest and there's no access to power, it's going to cost the investor more.
Okay.
And when the investor cost of operation is more, it will then require that the consumers who will patronize or who will utilize their services will also be complaining of high cost. And so it is very important that we restructure the entire energy sector so that the economy will strive in terms of development, especially to attract.
Now, the founder of the People's National Party, Janet Nabla, has accused the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Osiama, and the NDC government of being untruthful in the interpretation of the IMF report on gold board-related losses. Speaking on the issue, Janet Nabla argued that although Ghanaians entrusted the NDC government with the mandate to manage the economy, the government has, in her view, failed to be transparent with the public.
You were all in this country when Sami Jemfi and the Gold Board, IMF, came out to tell us that they've caused a financial loss of $240 million in their gold transactions. Both Sami Jemfi and the Bank of Ghana governor and the Minister of Finance came out and debunked it. That is not true. Blah, 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 blah. Later on, they came back and told us that what the IMF said, Sami Jemfi said, is not my deal. It is a Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana said, it is not ours. It is Ministry of Finance. But why were you telling us that it was not true? Why were you trying to discredit IMF, a very big institution? With the NDC, it is one day, one problem, because we are sitting on a time bomb. When you are having a partner, when you have a partner in a relationship and the partner is not trustworthy, the partner is not truthful, there is a problem. And we are having a partner in a relationship. We have joined our hands with NDC and brought them to come and manage our economy for us. And the Bank of Ghana governor is somebody who is not truthful. Anything that comes out of the mouth of the Bank of Ghana governor, I, Janet Asana Nabla, I will not believe it. I will not trust it. Because looking at historical antecedents of things that...
Away from that, the Bank of Ghana has issued a stern warning to commercial banks, placing the renewal of their foreign exchange trading licenses squarely on the line after uncovering serious weaknesses in how some institutions handle foreign currency transfers. In a strongly worded public notice dated January 12, 2026, the central bank revealed that recent supervisory examinations and market surveillance uncovered material weakness, lapses, and inconsistencies in internal control systems governing the institution, processing and reporting of foreign currency transactions at some licensed dealer banks. The regulator cautioned that these deficiencies significantly heighten operational and reputational risks within the banking sector, increasing exposure to fraud, financial crime, and money laundering, while threatening the integrity and orderly functioning of Ghana's foreign exchange market. That's all for business news. Up next is sports news with Eugene Oforisoti.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the Talking Points. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to the sports segment with Eugene Oforisoti. Let's kick off from Manchester United, where the club has agreed an agreement in principle to appoint Michael Carrick as the interim head coach until the end of the season. The former United midfielder agreed to the deal on Monday night and will immediately step into the role following the dismissal of Ruben Amorim earlier this month. Amorim was relieved of his duties on 5th January after 14 months in charge, with Darren Fletcher overseeing the team for 2 matches in a caretaker capacity. Carrick, who is 44, will be supported by an experienced backroom staff. Former England assistant coach Stephen Holland is expected to serve as his assistant, while Jonathan Woodgate, Johnny Evans, who is a former player, and Travis Bennion will also form part of the coaching team. This will not be Carrick's first spell in temporary charge at Old Trafford. He previously took over the reins for 3 matches in 2021 following the departure of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Carrick is expected to be in the dugout this Saturday when United host rivals Manchester City in the Premier League derby at Old Trafford. Steve Holland brings vast international experience, having worked closely with Gareth Southgate during England's run to 4th place at the 2018 World Cup and their runner-up finishes at Euro 2021 and Euro 2024. United will now hope that the interim setup can steady the club as they navigate the remainder of the season. Well, away from the red side of Manchester, let's head to the other side, the blue side of Manchester, where Manchester City are on the road to Tyneside to take on defending Carabao Cup champions Newcastle United in the first leg of a semi-final clash. City's manager Pep Guardiola has described the encounter as a valuable opportunity for his revamped squad to push towards a cup final, particularly for his newer players eager to make their mark. Guardiola also admitted that he feels pressure to deliver silverware this season, noting that City's only trophy last campaign was the Community Shield, a return that fell below the club's high standards.
No, I don't know what should be more pressure on them for the fact they are champion. So done really well since many years, and now we are again. They won last season, semi-finals, and you're right. So they are the champion, and the opportunity for a lot of us, but especially for a lot of new players to reach a final. A lot of pressure, we feel. It's not about win or no win trophies. It's be how the team grows up, how a team is better. Last season we didn't deserve to win just more than just one trophy because we didn't play good. So the satisfaction to win a trophy when we are not playing good can happen. You know, knockout stages, make a lucky and meets into it. It's not about that. Believe me, it's not about that. We are here to make the team playing better, the satisfaction to make a good performance for ourselves, our fans said, oh, we have fun during 95 minutes, so the team playing good. That is the point. The next game, do it a little bit, things that we can do better, do it better. That is the target.
Well, Newcastle United's head coach Eddie Howe admits he would have preferred to play the first leg away from home, but insists his side will approach the challenge with full commitment. Howe acknowledged that Manchester City are among the most difficult opponents to face over 2 legs, predicting a stern test against Citizens. Despite the challenge, the Newcastle boss remains confident in his preparation, stressing that he is ready to respond to whatever tactical puzzle Pep Guardiola presents.
Yeah, I think the natural preference is for the home game to be the second leg, just because you have a clear understanding of what you need to do and you have the home crowd with you. It's not like that for us this time. We need to use the home crowd for our advantage in the first game and try and give everything to impose ourselves on them in this home tie. It's going to be an important game for us. We really enjoyed the 2-legged format last year. Even the sort of gap between games was quite good because you could detach yourself from the result and your focus goes away and then it comes back when it comes round, and it's very similar again this year. So we enjoyed that challenge. This is going to be a totally different one. I think Manchester City the hardest team to play over 2 legs in the country. Pep, I'm sure, will tactically have something ready for us, and we'll have to be at our very best to.
So that was Newcastle's manager Eddie Howe. That game takes place tonight at 8 p.m. And then tomorrow Chelsea will take on Arsenal in the other game. And then the reverse fixtures will also happen in the following week to see which team will make it to the final to replace either Newcastle, or Newcastle will do a title defense in the Carabao Cup. Now let's head to the AFCON, where the list for the officiating officials for the game between Nigeria and Morocco in the semi-finals of the AFCON takes place, and Ghanaian referee Daniel Ni Ayilaye is the center referee for the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Morocco. That game will happen tomorrow at 5 p.m. and so at 8 p.m. and so the Ghanaian referee Daniel Ni Ayilaye, who is the only Ghanaian referee at this African Championship, he will be in charge of that very big game. Kudos to him as he hoists high the flag of Ghana at this competition. Well, that's all the sports for now. I am Eugene Oforisoti. International news is up next.
You're still watching ABC Midday News here on ABC News Ghana television. On the international front, U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Monday that his administration had imposed a 25% tariff on goods from countries that maintain commercial relations with Iran, a decision aimed at increasing pressure on Tehran as anti-government protests stretch into their 3rd week. Writing on social media, Trump said the measure took effect immediately but did not clarify what activities qualify as doing business with Iran. China remains Iran's largest trading partner, followed by Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey, and India. The tariff announced followed Trump's warning that the United States could take military action if Iranian authorities continued killing protesters. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt confirmed that military options, including airstrikes, remain under consideration. In more international news, Somalia says it has cancelled all agreements with the United Arab Emirates due to evidence the Gulf state is engaged in undermining Somalia's sovereignty, national unity, and political independence. The rift is reportedly due to the UAE's tacit support for Israel's recognition of the breakaway region of Somaliland and an independent state. Abu Dhabi built and controls a deep water port and military base in the Somaliland city of Berbera. Saudi Arabia has also accused the UAE of helping a Yemeni separatist flee to Abu Dhabi through the port in Berbera, something Mogadishu described as an alleged unauthorized use of Somalia's national airspace and airport. Mogadishu said the cancellation applies to all federal agencies, related agencies, and regional administrations. That includes bilateral security and defense agreements and all agreements and cooperation in the ports of Berbera, Bosaso, and Kismayo. Somaliland declared independence in 1991 but wasn't recognized by any other nations until last month when Israel became the first country to do so, provoking an immediate international backlash. So now Niger has cancelled the operating licenses of several transport companies and drivers after they declined to haul fuel to neighboring Mali, citing the risk of jihadist attacks along the route. An Al-Qaeda-linked group imposed the fuel blockade on Mali in September and has since targeted petrol tankers on key highways. Mali, a landlocked nation heavily reliant on imported fuel, had in July reached an agreement with Niger for the supply of 85 million liters of fuel over 6 months to its vast northern regions where militant activity is rife. Niger, an oil-producing state and close ally of Mali, is also governed by a military junta and faces its own jihadist threats. Fuel convoys traveling the 1,400-kilometer route from Niger to Mali have repeatedly come under attack, even when escorted by military. In November, Niger successfully delivered 82 fuel tankers, helping ease shortages caused by the blockade, which had also disrupted supplies coming from Senegal and Ivory Coast. That's all for international news. Up next is entertainment news. Entertainment, Takoja Sewa has filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal in Kumasi against the High Court decision that recognized both her and Priscilla Ofori, also known as Odobroni, as the lawful surviving spouses of the late High Life legend Charles Kwejofosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba. In a notice of appeal, Ms. Sewa is challenging the entire judgments of the Kumasi High Court, contending that the trial court erred in rejecting and declaring inadmissible a marriage certificate she tendered in support of her claim. She further argues that the High Court committed an error of law when it held that she had failed to satisfy the requirement of the Evidence Act 1975 NRCD 323 for the admission of the marriage certificate into evidence. The appellant is therefore asking the Court of Appeal to set aside the High Court's judgment and to declare her as the sole lawful surviving spouse of the late musician. That's all for entertainment news, and that's how we wrap up ABC Midday here on ABC News Ghana Television. We stream live on Facebook at ABC News GH_. For more news, log on to our website at www.abcnewsgh.com. I am Peggy NyarkowaA Bannoor. Enjoy the rest of your day.